everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up Guide podcast. So, today's episode is going to be about locking the flip in for the last quarter, or more like the last 2 months of 2025. This year is officially coming to a close. I feel like it has genuinely gone by so fast, and the new year feels like yesterday. But nope, that was actually about 10 months ago at this point. So it's been a hot minute, and in that hot minute, I have gotten this podcast to almost 2,000 all-time plays and downloads. I've started track. I've fallen in love with running. Gotten a presidential award for my grades. I started high school. Had my first homecoming dance. I've been to football games, and I have done so much more. And I would be going on and on forever trying to tell you all those things. But anyways, we need a good lock-in. I know I am really trying to pull my crap together and get my acts together for this last chunk of the year. There's honestly just so much that I need to do and so much to think about, and I just thought we could all benefit from having a little lock-in. So welcome to the great lock-in plan of 2025. So let's tackle like life updates and podcast updates and all that. Podcast updates, not really much, like I've said. I'm back, kind of. We're trying to get back on track with this. And then also we're almost at 2,000 plays. Actually, I might be able to hit that by the end of this month if I'm lucky. I'm really hoping it's the end of this month. We're at 1,840 right now, and I'm really hoping that by the end of the year, or by the end of this month, actually, we'll get to 2,000. Okay, what else? Let's see. Life updates. It's kind of just been like normal things. Like I went shopping. I bought this really cute sweatshirt from Aerie last week. Actually, it was really cute, and it was $29. So, I mean, it's kind of expensive, but like not that bad. More volunteering and stuff. Helped out with the pickleball program. That was pretty fun. Just usual chaos. And then, oh, Halloween was last weekend. That was really fun. Okay, so I went trick-or-treating with a whole bunch of my friends. We all most of us dressed up as cowgirls, and then the other two dressed up as pirates. It was really fun. And I was an amazing cowgirl. I looked amazing. I had my hair in like two little braids. It was so cute. And then afterwards, me and my friends, we had like a sleepover. It was really fun. We watched a whole bunch of horror movies. We watched what did we watch? We watched Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Personally, there was just too much blood in both of them. It wasn't really scary. It was just a whole bunch of blood. It was kind of disgusting, not gonna lie, but yeah. It was not that great. Anyways, and then Saturday was kind of a bust. Like, I just slept half the day. I literally went to sleep at 5 p.m. and woke up at, 10 a.m., technically 11 a.m. the next day, because daylight saving time started. So, like, my brain's kind of been, fucked up, because of that. So, that's amazing. And then I had, a volunteering thing yesterday. I was at, a community kitchen. That was pretty good. And then after that, I went shopping. I had to buy a dress for, my team banquet thing, basically a fancy dinner. It's on Wednesday. And that was a total bust. So then I just ended up ordering something off Amazon again. And that was, an hour and a half of my life that I would never get back. But Aeropostale, they were having this sale. It was, buy one, get one free on their jeans. And their jeans are actually amazing, but also insanely expensive. I kid you not, it is $65 for a pair of one of their jeans. So buy one get one free. That's you're getting 2 pairs of jeans for that price, which is actually not even that bad. It's $30 some dollars for a pair of jeans, which is not even that bad. And their jeans are amazing quality. So I got 2 pairs of jeans, and I'm really happy about that. I'm kind of crashing now because I've been awake for almost 12 hours, but yeah, it's a long weekend actually. So I had Friday off, and then it was Saturday, Sunday, and then there's Monday off, which is today, and then tomorrow off, and then we go back to school on Wednesday. So that's amazing. Let's see what else. But yeah, that's pretty much been my life. Not a whole lot of chaos going on. My winter track tryouts actually start next Monday, and I'm really freaking nervous for that. So yeah, and also my life is gonna be pure hell once winter track starts up again, up until the beginning of February, I guess. I don't know. So that's gonna be fun. But anyways, life is just going. It's going good. Okay, so that was actually a lot shorter than I anticipated, but let's move on with the actual episode. So let's do like one thing we're grateful for and one thing we're happy about, plus our book of the week. Alrighty, so one thing I'm grateful for is probably, let's see. I'm really grateful for like the ability to enjoy the small things in life, like um taking a hot shower out and when it's cold out, or taking a cold shower when it's hot out, or something like that. Um, or like cookies, for example. Like I have an obsession with like sweets in general, but I really love like chocolate chip cookies. I'm grateful for a really good chocolate chip cookie that will literally make my day. Um, if anyone wants to get on my good side, get me a good chocolate chip cookie, and I will marry you. Like, well, no, I'd probably marry the cookie, but like that's how you win over my heart. But anyways, I'm just grateful for the ability to really enjoy these small things in life, because I know that a lot of people, they can't worry about these things because they have much bigger problems in their life to worry about. And I don't know, I'm just very grateful for that. Anyways, one thing I'm happy about, let's see, the fall weather is like amazing. That's something I'm really happy about, because I can finally pull out like all my jeans and my sweatshirts and comfy time. So that's something that makes me really happy. And I don't really have a book of the week. Like, I just started rereading The Housemaid is Watching because I was bored. Which is really saying something about me. But let's see, the last book I actually read was Of Mice and Men for English. I do not recommend reading that. Unless you're one of those like people that can appreciate certain piece of literature. I don't know. But anyways, I honestly hated it, but yeah, I really wish that wasn't the last book I read, but anyways, it is. Okay, so let's move on with the actual episode. First things first, we have got to start showing up for ourselves. You can't do like literally anything if you refuse to actually show up for yourself. It's like waiting on somebody to get here only for them to just not show up. Um, but you have to be willing to put in the work to achieve the highest version of yourself possible within the next 2-ish months. This episode was supposed to be up like over a month ago at this point, but better late than never at this point. And anyways, 2 months is way more than enough time if you really show up and you put the real work in. It's never going to be easy to show up for yourself, but it does get easier the more you do it. So start now. Quit making dumb excuses that are actually really stupid when you think about it. Kick the negativity to the curb. That's not the kind of energy we want at all for the last part of this year. Envision that highest self that you want to be so vividly you can feel her coming through. Be her. Be the version of you that you have always wanted to be. She's already somewhere deep inside you, just waiting to shine. You just have to pull her out of the current version of yourself and let her shine. If you were staying stuck and doing the same thing on repeat and constantly thinking, constantly wishing, and hoping for this dream version of yourself, a little tough love moment, she's not just going to pop out of nowhere. Not just going to drop out of the sky or something. You have got to put in the hard work. You can't just like keep on not actually doing anything to get to this dream version of yourself and then be super depressed about it when it doesn't happen. But you have got to try. Thinking about doing something is very, very different from actually committing to it and doing it and seeing it through. You can't wish your way into a new life. You can't wish your way into a new you. I sure wish I could do that, but nope, not how the universe works. Life is short, and you only get one shot at it. But if you do it right, then one shot is all you need. You can just be envious of the people that do actually put in the work, or you can start showing up and put in the work for yourself. You can be that person that other people envy if we want to bring out the competitiveness, I guess. Make your dreams a reality, Like, we're in this together. Maybe you said you wanted to go on a specific trip this year and you haven't even thought about it yet. Great, 2 months is enough. Pull up Google. Google is amazing. You're probably on your phone all the time anyway on social media. Pull up Google instead. Start doing some research. It always starts with the smallest things ever. Okay? Research when the best time to visit this place is. Find out more about hotels and restaurants and all that stuff. Book things. Make it happen, because if you really and truly want it, you will make it happen under all circumstances. But like, what are these things that you have been thinking about doing, but you just keep making excuses for not doing? Maybe it's a trip, maybe it's buying a house, maybe it's moving out, maybe it's getting a new degree, or going back to school, or maybe it's getting your dream job. Maybe it's achieving your dream body. It doesn't matter what the heck it is. The real thing is, like, the real question here is, do you want it? Because if you actually really and truly want this for yourself, you will move heaven and earth to make it happen. Sometimes you were actually the biggest obstacle getting in your own damn way of freaking greatness. You are those roadblocks. I have done this before. We are all guilty of quite literally being the actual problem. It's time for the great lock-in. It is time to manifest whatever the heck you want. Envision where you could be if you just started now. Right the second. Quit thinking about, like, oh, well, I should have started earlier, blah, blah, blah. There's only 2 months left. What am I going to do with that? No. Stop it. No, just absolutely not. Okay? Right the second. Just think about it. So you want to start showing up for yourself, and you want to choose yourself. Choose greatness. Choose to be better and better yourself every damn day. You are an investment. You are the investment. You are worth the time and pain and energy and love. You deserve all the amazing things in the world that your heart could ever desire, and so much more than that. You've got to do this for yourself. Make your one shot at life the only shot you need, because there are no do-overs. Not a thing. You can't just go back in time and fix all your past regrets. All you can do is make sure that there are no more. Don't add any more to the list of things you regret doing or not doing. Almost always, it's going to be the things that you don't do that you regret. You never know if you don't do it. And even if you do regret doing it, well, lesson learned for next time. At least you know. The next thing is that you can't give up. Never. You can never ever give up. That is exactly the one thing you are not allowed to do in our great lock-in of the very end of 2025. You've got to promise me, and more importantly, promise yourself that you won't give up no matter how much you feel like quitting. Because those times when you really want to quit and give up and call it a day, those are exactly the times when you need to push yourself even harder to go and keep doing the hard things. Those are exactly the times when you can't quit. You just have to keep pushing. You have to keep working towards your goals, and you just can't stop. Not stopping is quite exactly what makes you unstoppable. And hey, if something doesn't work out and it seems like the end, seems like you should stop, nope, you're wrong. Something not working out or falling apart is only the universe's sign that something better, something even better, something that will work out is coming along soon. You just have to keep your eye out for it and trust in life's plan for you. Trust that it will all work out in the end. Everything always works out the exact way it is meant to. I have learned this through lots of experience. If you just keep on pushing, keep on going, become an unstoppable force, you will see the change. Results don't come right away, and don't be discouraged when you don't see an immediate change. I didn't start lifting lifting weights one day and hit my goal weight overnight. Heck no, it took me 4 months to see a pretty noticeable change and a little over 2 years to finally hit my goal weight. And I can't just quit lifting weights either once I've hit my goal. I have to maintain that routine of doing so, otherwise I lose all my progress. We always seem to get so discouraged when we don't see results right away, but that's no reason to quit. The results are coming, you just have to be patient and keep going. It might take a very long time to see even the smallest change, but the smallest change actually does mean something. It doesn't mean you should quit. It's telling you that you're doing great and whatever you're doing is actually freaking working. You aren't an immediate failure for not seeing any sort of results right away. They're coming. Trust me, they're coming. Change takes time. Good things take time. And sometimes they take a very, very long time. And we have to learn to be okay with that. But no matter what happens, no matter what the heck you do, never stop. Just keep going and never quit. Never flipping give up. Because you're just admitting defeat to nothing. And you can't become great by quitting. No, quitters are losers, and we aren't losers. So don't quit. Ever. Next thing is to never look back. When you're trying to achieve a goal or make a change or do something, it's probably going to involve leaving something behind. Want to switch majors? You're leaving the old one behind. Change jobs or quit your current one? That's a tiny world you're leaving behind. You want to change your eating habits for the better. You're abandoning your old and probably comfortable ways of eating. You're leaving something behind more often than not. And the point is to leave it there. Leave it in the past, whatever it may be. Don't go back. Don't revert to your old ways because, remember, we left those behind for a reason. Remember that reason. Always. Don't go back to your old toxic friends or your old crappy job or whatever the heck it is that you left behind. Growth is never easy. Okay? Like, it was left behind for a reason. Growth is never easy. That's why it's growth. You're pushing yourself to do the things that are hard and the things that might make you feel like you're doing everything wrong, but you're not. Okay? I love this saying. There's no growth in the comfort zone and no comfort in the growth zone. Did I say that right? Yeah. No growth in the comfort zone and no comfort in the growth zone. And that's actually really true. You can't grow when you're comfortable because that's not growth. You can't be comfortable when you're growing because growth isn't comfort. And it might feel like a good idea to go back to your old whatever it is that you left behind, but that's only going to harm you more. You can't just look back. You have just got to keep moving forward. That's all you can do. Keep on going. Comfort is easy, and that's why we like to stay comfortable so much. Growth is hard, but it's necessary. Leave it behind, anything that has stopped serving its purpose to you. Say bye-bye, because that's the only way to grow. It doesn't matter how freaking bad you want that comfort. Don't go back. Because going back is like admitting defeat. Admitting that you can't do it. And you really want to do that to yourself? I sure as heck don't want to do that to myself, and I don't want you guys to do it to yourselves. Heck, if we got any competitive ones listening, use that to your advantage. The people you hate could be winning. Don't let your haters win. Be better than your haters. Shine and glow so bright they go blind from 10 miles away. For me, like when I don't want to study, I just think that the people I hate could be studying right now and do better than me. I sure as heck ain't gonna let that happen. No, I'm gonna study my ass off and I'm gonna be better than all of them. Embrace that uncomfortable period of growth because soon the growth zone you're in, all that is gonna become your comfort zone pretty darn soon if so long as you just don't look back. Everything you want is on the other side of the discomfort you're in right now. So embrace the period of unfamiliarity. Make it your own little adventure. Turning discomfort into an adventure makes it sound way better. A whole lot less scary, doesn't it? Think of your growth as a little adventure you're going on. Adventures are exciting and fun. Stepping out of your comfort zone can be, and most of the time, it is scary. But there are ways to make it easier and less scary. Growth is amazing, and the initial scariness won't last long if you really stick with it and just don't look back. Next thing, visualize the person you are trying to become. Through all of these goals you want to achieve for yourself by the end of this year, there is a person you're trying to achieve. You're trying to better yourself, or at least that's what you should be trying to do. We are all trying to focus on the small changes, on getting 1% better instead of 1% worse each and every day. We are trying to unlock the very best version of ourselves. That's who you want to be. Who is she? Who is this highest version of yourself? Really think about that. Get a clear image of who she is. What does she look like? How does she dress? How does she hold herself up? Is she organized? What are her character traits? How does she respond to certain situations? Who are the people she surrounds herself with? What are those people like? How are her relationships with people? Think about all of that and more. Visualize this higher self so clearly she almost materializes in front of you. That's who you're trying to become. Think really hard about who you want to see in yourself, what you want to see in that mirror when you look at yourself, and what you will see in yourself when the new year rolls around. Like it inevitably will. You want to see someone who is confident, who invests in herself, who cares about life, and surrounds herself with positivity. Whatever it may be, think of her and work towards being her. I know you want to feel proud of yourself and all of your accomplishments and memories and be happy with the year instead of feeling disappointed and full of regrets at what you did or didn't do. Don't have regrets. That's kind of the way I'm leading my entire life right now, actually. Well, just do it. Better than not doing something and regretting it. You can do everything you want to in the next 2 months. Don't let that discourage you from being amazing. 2 months isn't long, sure, but it's long enough if you really work your butt off. How badly do you want it? Keep that question in mind. Anyways, going back to my original point, if you really want to, write out a list of who you're trying to be or become by the end of this year. We all have so much potential to be great and amazing and do every single thing we want to. We all have the potential to be our best selves and show up as her by the end of the year. Don't let that potential slip away in excuses and procrastination. We have no excuse to not be great and to not use that potential. I know that you have it in you to pull out that best version of yourself from deep inside of you. She might be buried really, really deep inside of you, but she's there. I know she is. It's up to you to show up for yourself and make it all happen, though. You might listen to this entire episode and take absolutely nothing from it, do absolutely nothing about anything in your life, and be full of sadness and regrets by the end of the year. Boring. Don't be that person. Be the person you want to be and have always wanted to be. Get 1% better each day instead of 1% worse. Every time you're faced with a decision, think of what your highest self would do. Will your highest self study or school? Nope, she would get your crap together and study because it's so much better to walk into a test knowing that you are prepared and know what's going on, rather than have no idea what is going on. Would she get up and go on that run or do that workout and sit around doing nothing? She would do the workout because working out is never something you regret doing. Would your highest self keep your space a suffocating disaster or clean it up? What would your highest self do? She would clean up her space and get crap done because a clean space means a clean mind. Think of that always. What would your highest self do? Always take the path that will lead you to your highest self because that's how you slowly start to become her. She will materialize from somewhere deep inside of you. We all have our off days. I have a whole bunch of those. It's nothing wrong, but we are standing on business and locking to flip it. Having an off day is no excuse to spend a whole day binge watching TV in pajamas. It's a sign that you need to get your act together. So take that sign and run with it. Get your crap together because there are only 2 months left. We don't exactly have much time to waste. More like any time to waste, actually. So don't waste your already very limited time on useless and wasteful nonsense. Become her. Next thing, I know I probably have probably, or at least hopefully, given you guys a lot of motivation to just start now and to just do it. That was the goal and the intention of this episode. But we have got to be real with ourselves and think, like, what can we actually do in 2 months? There are probably a million things you want to achieve for yourself by the end of this year. That's good. I want you to want a lot for yourself and from yourself. But we have got to really think and have a chat with ourselves about what we can actually accomplish by the end of this year without overwhelming ourselves or even worse, going into burnout. Because those things suck. Think about everything you want to accomplish by the end of this year. Health and wellness goals, mental health goals, work or career goals, relationship goals, all those goals. Now, narrow them down to just a few things. Really pick out what matters to you the most in your life right now. What's the most relevant? Think about all that. Things that you think you can actually accomplish by the end of the year. Maybe anywhere from 3 to 5. That sounds good for 2 months. Prioritize the things that actually matter the most to you and focus on those things. Make a little list. Pick whatever resonates with you the most, the things that really stand out to you and matter to you. The key thing, though, is to only pick a few things. If you try and go full-blown unrecognizable or insane changes in 2 months type of thing, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and burn yourself out and just end up quitting. I've done that before, and it doesn't ever work. That is quite literally exactly how you set yourself up for failure. And we don't want that for ourselves this year. So be realistic with yourself, be real with yourself, and think about what you can realistically get done in 2 months. Your motivation right now might be telling you that you can do a whole lot more than 3 to 5 or 6 things by the end of this year, but you will very quickly learn that motivation fades even faster than you think. And when you have no motivation to do anything, it is way easier to just do the few things that matter the most to you than to attempt to do everything. So go on the smaller side. Pick your few priorities and stick with them. You know you better than anyone else. My 3 are focusing on health and wellness, improving my time management and getting more done in a day, and continuing to keep my grades and GPA up and high in school. Those are 3 things that matter the most to me and things I can realistically do by the end of this year. Really hone in on those few things that you choose to accomplish by the end of this year. Now that we have picked out our priorities and things that matter to us the most and things we really want to accomplish by the end of this year, it's time to figure out how the heck we're going to get there and accomplish our goals. We got a plan. There's this saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. And when you really think about it, that's a very true statement. So plan for success, plan for smashing successes, a whole bunch of them. Figure out how you are going to achieve your goals. For me, the thing I really need to work on in terms of health and wellness, because that's a really broad category, the things I need to work on are eating healthier and sticking to a consistent strength training routine because I've completely fallen off of that boat and I've lost 6 pounds in 3 months across country. So I'm trying to at least establish a consistent strength training schedule in the next, really like a week before. winter track starts and stick with strength training throughout the season. Hopefully, I gain my 6 pounds back by the end of the year. I think I can make that happen. Eating healthier isn't actually a hard goal. I just need to find some flipping time to eat at this point. I'm always eating while doing my homework, and I don't really care. I don't really think I eat enough when I do that because my focus isn't on the food and whether I have eaten enough, and feel full. But rather, is my homework done? What do I need to do next? Blah 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 blah. Anything but the food. Okay, the food is just there. Before my runs and cross country practice, I would eat Cheez-Its or something, and like that because they're carbs, they're easy to eat, quick energy, and I won't throw up if I start running 10 minutes later. But they're not exactly very healthy, so I need to find a healthier alternative. Like fruit. Fruit is good. Simple changes are the goal here. That's the beginning of a realistic plan I can use to achieve my health and wellness goals by the end of the year. Even if you have no clue what to do, come up with a starting point and just go from there. Just do something at this point, because something is always going to be better than nothing. Planning is a big make or break thing in whether you are actually going to go and achieve your goals and make it happen in the next 2 months or just quit before you even start. You need a plan for any goal you want to achieve. You cannot and really should not start on any goal without a plan unless you're freakishly good at just winging things. But most people aren't, so planning is the key. SMART goals are a big part of this planning phase. For those of you that don't know what SMART goals are, it's an acronym that stands for goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific just means make sure your goals aren't super broad. Don't just be like, I want to wake up earlier. Instead, say, I want to start waking up at 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. That's a much more specific goal, and it makes more sense. The more specific your goal is, the more likely you are to stick with it. Next is measurable. The thing is, the more find a way to track your progress. If you're trying to drink more water, maybe download one of those apps that lets you track how much water you drink each day. Achievable goals are just that. When you start running, don't say you're gonna become the next freaking Usain Bolt in the next 2 damn months. Quite literally impossible. Relevant, it just means make sure the goals that you're setting actually matter to you. Otherwise, you just won't care enough to stick with it once the initial motivation wears off. Finally, we have time bound. Set a deadline. No deadlines creates a completely useless goal you are guaranteed to forget about. In our case, the deadline is the end of the year. So think about the things you can actually do in the next 2 months. Bottom line is to just make some sort of plan for your goals. Otherwise, that is literally how you set yourself up for failure. Final thing I wanted to end off on, a little reminder, don't go too hard on yourself. Obviously, the point of this episode was to remind you to lock in and push yourself as hard as you can. But you don't want to go too hard. Beating yourself up only makes the entire situation so much worse. It just makes you feel sad and guilty, so you gotta give yourself grace. Allow yourself to make mistakes because guess what? Mistakes are how you learn. Mistakes are okay. And for some reason, we seem to believe that they're not okay, but they are. It's a part of life. Making mistakes is how you learn and grow and be better. Allow yourself to make those mistakes because it's okay. It's perfectly okay to make mistakes. Sometimes the initial motivation we get leads us to push ourselves way too hard, and then we just give up and feel depressed about that. But it's okay. It's important to give yourself grace and not ask too much of yourself. You should always have high expectations of yourself, but don't set them so high to the point where you feel exhausted. That's just not the way to go. Burnout sucks. I have seen so many people push themselves so hard to the point where they are just done. They give up. And I have been very close to doing that with some of my goals sometimes. For example, I've been trying to keep my grades at all A's. No A minuses either. 4.0 GPA. And that's a lot for someone to ask of themselves. There have been so many times where I just wanted to give up on this goal and be like, screw this, what's the point? But I pushed through. And guess who made it through her first quarter of high school with all A's and 2 A minuses? Honestly, I can't really beat myself up too hard over the A minuses though, because one of them is quite literally in art, because I lost one of my papers and I got a D plus put in the grade book for it. So I would say I did pretty darn well. It honestly makes me laugh every time I look at my first quarter grades and see the 1 A minus in art. It makes my friends laugh too, but anyways, I did not give up because My grades have never been this important, and every time I want to quit, I just remember, how bad do I want to go out of state? How badly do I need to keep my grades up to get scholarships? Because my entire future is quite literally scholarship or bust. It's just a matter of how badly you want it. But going back to my original point, you have got to give yourself grace. I am not beating myself over the A minus because it's in freaking art. Of all classes, it's in freaking art. So it's not really a huge deal. I don't even think colleges are going to see the A minus. And if they do, who knows? They might laugh at it too. So it's fine. Because I gave it my best freaking effort and I am very proud of myself. And that's really what matters. My friend was talking to me about how she feels like she's doing everything she can and how it's still not enough and she hated herself for it. And I told her that you've just got to stop being so hard on yourself. Because guess what? Sometimes life is hard. And all you can do is try your very best and quit beating yourself up over the things that are out of your control. If it's in your control, don't worry about it. You got no reason to. If it's out of your control, don't worry about it because guess what? You still have no reason to. Point is, don't worry about it. Okay. So I feel like this episode was kind of on the shorter side, but kind of packed a lot in. Anyways, so that's all I had to say for this episode, and I hope that inspired you guys to lock in, and I hope that gave you some motivation to get your act together. I know talking about it has me motivated. So to end off our episode today, I have a quote for you guys from, well, I mean, it's not actually a quote, it's actually a Chinese proverb. And it goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Bye, guys. Rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. Drink some water. Please, please, please go follow me on Instagram at theglowupguidepodcast. And I love you all.